interactive pieces back there as well that I hope you all have take the time to participate in. Nina will share insights about her work and discuss her role in helping bring this monument to life. Thank you again for joining us today. I will now turn it over to one of our great partners in this endeavor. I call you my Washington Park neighbor, soon to be Harriet Tubman Park. Let's give it up for that. Aisha Glover, Vice President of Urban Innovation at Audible. Aisha.
Thank you, Jocelyn. Good afternoon, everyone. I was just gonna wing it, and then as Jocelyn was talking, I was like, maybe I should write a few things down so I don't forget what I want to say. The reason why I wanted to kind of speak from the heart is because this is both a personal and professional, personally and professionally exciting for me. As Jocelyn said, I serve as the Vice President for Urban Innovation at Audible. Been here for about a year and a half, right across the street. And I came to Audible after having some experience working with them and seeing how committed they were to Newark's revitalization. And when you're making a decision about a career change during a pandemic, it obviously has to be the right fit. And so I felt a sense of urgency to really kind of live out the work that I had been working on as part of the leadership across the city, prioritizing economic development. So I like to say that I came to Audible on purpose, and over the past year and a half, I've been trying to be really intentional. Hi, Lauren. Trying to be really intentional about the types of projects and initiatives that we take on, quite frankly, that can be transformational. We're the fastest growing employer in the city of Newark. We are the largest provider of audiobooks and sound entertainment in the world with the most diverse catalog. And so as I think about who we are as an institution, I'm like, wait, we can do some really transformational work. And so I fell in love with Nina Cook-John's design. And I don't even know how we came to this point of, can we add audio? Can we really help bring this story to life in a way that can be meaningful and amplify the already beautiful design, but that can also help create the park as a destination. We want people to come, we want them to see and hear and feel and experience the story. So we're really excited to partner and help take the lead on the audio component of the monument. There's a sound booth downstairs. So in addition to coming up with Harriet's story in audio form, we are gonna also be kind of prioritizing and bringing to life some of these community stories around freedom and liberation. So I hope that everybody really takes that seriously. Sometimes those stories can be personal. This piece is very poignant. And I think the more truthful and authentic we can be in sharing those stories, the better job we can do with bringing them to life. So thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be part of this project. And I didn't use any of my notes, oh well. Thank you.
Thanks, Aisha and Jocelyn. And thank you guys all for coming out today. It turned out to be sunny outside, but you're here in the library to learn a little bit more about this project. So first I want to say that I really am delighted that the Newark Public Library is an important part of what we're calling the Harriet Tubman Monument Project, because the project extends beyond just the monument in the park to a larger effort really about spreading not only the information on the amazing feats of Harriet Tubman, but also the liberation struggles that have been a part of Newark's history through today. And those partners include the New York Museum of Art, which is helping us with all our tile making workshops, the Arts Foundation, who manages the parks in Newark, and also Newark Arts. And so it is also about the community, right, that supported Tubman's efforts, and the Underground Railroad and the Newark community of today that has the capacity to perform similar feats of similar magnitude through collaborative initiatives. So not only collaboration on the level of these institutions, but really community collaboration. And that's what this piece really is about. So the library, as a place both of knowledge and community support, is the perfect place to host this listening booth. With easy access to everyone, anyone can walk into the library, no matter who you are, which will be here for the next several months for drop-in recording. So if you don't get the chance to record during the hours of our session, it will be open after today for you to go in and record whenever you want. So tell your friends, your family. We want to gather as many stories of the people of Newark as possible. So your liberation stories that will be collected in the booth at the library will be one method of integrating the voices of the people of Newark into what will be a living monument. So like Aisha said, Audible has partnered with this project to allow for a multi-sensory experience, which will include a sound experience in the monument itself. So your stories will be part of a larger mosaic of voices of the people of Newark, but there will also be a physical mosaic made up of the tiles that you'll have an opportunity to make today. But if you don't make them here today, they'll also be available in workshops at the museum as well as local center. So just, if you are on social media at all, follow Newark Arts. They are one of our prime means of disseminating social media information. So there will also be an online archive of your voices, including all the audio content. So for those people who want to have a more in-depth and experience the voices in deeper and on their own time, they can access it through the online archive as well. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the monument design. So here today, we will be giving you a bit of a taste both of the tile making workshops. We have capacity for about 40 tiles to be made here, but we also have the worksheets that you can interact with. And if you don't have the opportunity to make the tiles here today, you can take that worksheet with you and come to one of the future tile making workshops. And again, the audio booth, we're asking that it's just limited time slots only for our event. We have it limited to 5 minutes, just so that as many people as possible want to do it today. But if you come in at any other time, you can spend as much time in there as you want. And so if you haven't seen it before, we have just a few images of what the monument will look like. And if I could, I don't think I can advance the slideshow myself. So just in terms of background, so, in the summer of, next slide. In the summer of 2021, as you know, the mayor essentially announced that there will be a new monument in what is now Washington Park, which will be renamed Tubman Square. Next slide. And this is really grounded in not only the heroic feats of Harriet Tubman, but really the city of Newark, after several workshops, really thought that a monument to Harriet Tubman would be a really fitting representation of the people of Newark. Next slide. The monument, as the artist, in terms of really thinking about this space, next slide. I really wanted it to be a collector in this park, a public place that really encourages community engagement. Next slide. So the monument will not only be a place where you come to learn about Harriet Tubman, so you can walk in and through and around it, it will also be a place that will activate the park. So not only do you come for educational reasons, but you come also to really be engaged in the activities of the park and connect to your neighbors at the same time. Next slide. Next slide. So the major parts of the monument include a central figure, which will be larger than life, as large as the old Columbus statue that had been there before, giving the monument presence and giving Harriet Tubman her due place in the park. But also at eye level will be an image of Harriet Tubman's face where you can connect to it directly face to face. You'll also be able to walk in and read historical information about liberation struggles grounded in Newark and New Jersey's history. And on the outer side of that learning wall, as you walk under the trellis, there'll be historical information directly related to Harriet Tubman's life. So what we're trying to do is bridge Harriet Tubman and her amazing feats to our personal stories of liberation and connecting those two extremes with the larger liberation struggles that communally people in Newark have been doing all along. Next slide. So the tile making workshop, the tiles that you make here, as well as in any of the other workshops, we have a few samples in the back that I can show you, will be fired and then glazed and will become a part of the monument itself. It will sit on the back side of that wall that had Harriet Tubman's face. So you can go there with your friends and family and you'll see how your story connects with other people's stories and becomes a part of a kind of collective story. Next slide. Yeah, so that's kind of the overview of where the project is and how this sits in the fuller project. And so for those of you who want to be part of the tile making workshop, I'll meet you in the back, but I'll give you a little introduction to that beforehand. But we also have a sign-up sheet for people downstairs for the audio booth. So you can, a few of you might want to go downstairs, at least put your name on the list, and then know what time you're going back, and then come back up here and go back whenever you need to. So I won't start that. I'll give everyone about 10 minutes before starting the actual workshop. But if I could go to the next slide. So again, this is about how we're all Harriet Tubman. We all have these stories of liberation. Next slide. So as you're really coming up with these abstract ideas to be put on your tiles, as well as you're thinking about the stories you want to leave, think about who is Harriet Tubman to you? What does the idea, the history of the actual woman mean to you? Next slide. But also, what does community mean to you? Who has helped you out when you had a hard time, right? Who has helped you pull through, individuals or a larger community? Next slide. Who has helped you in times of struggle? Next slide. What does liberty look like to you? Liberation means different things to different people. This can be small things, it could be large things. So start to think about what does liberty, what does liberation look like to you or mean to you? Next slide. What is something that might have held you back and then you made it through? So these questions will also be repeated in the audio booth downstairs as you're responding. Next slide. Next slide again. And then, in helping you to think through, because we don't expect anyone who's doing the tile workshops to be artists themselves, but what we want you to really think about is the idea of abstraction. Anyone who has a tattoo thinks about this often. How do you think about something that's important to you and then abstract it to then put it on your body? In this case, you're going to put it on a tile. It just has a personal meaning to you. Everyone doesn't have to necessarily understand what it is that you meant here. Next slide. So we've pulled together some other abstract symbols from around the diaspora. On the tables, you'll see images of quilts. We know that quilts, historically this has been debated, but they've said that African Americans during antebellum times put codes in the quilted patterns that they left. Next slide. But there are also, and these are some different, these are also on the table. So these are some quilt patterns. Next slide. And these are more. Next slide. And then we've also just included some other symbology from across the diaspora. Again, these are just inspiration from you. You don't necessarily need to copy any of these. And we'll have worksheets in the back. And on these worksheets, you can sketch through ideas. You can take as much time as you like. And once you're ready, we'll give you we're calling it the wet clay. It's not completely wet, but it's just soft enough that you can etch your design in, and I'll be here walking around to help you, any questions you have. So on the tables, you'll see etching tools, you'll see a pencil, and you'll also see a release form that we're gonna need everyone to complete by the time you're done. And it just means that you give us permission to use this artwork that you've created in the monument. Okay? Thank you so much for being a part of this.